Guess what I got for my birthday?
What you got?
Hold on, I gotta show you. Let me pull this up right here. Look at that.
All right.
Look at that clock.
Yeah.
That's gonna go right up here.
You did have a birthday recently. So,
Yeah, look at that. I got that for my birthday.
That is true.
Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. It's gonna become part of our set.
Yep, you had a birthday recently. Yeah, I got you something coming.
Yeah, I didn't see you the other day.
I've been busy with a few things, but yeah, you can still celebrate, your birthday here on Fanstar Review.
There you go, Fanstar Review celebrating birthday.
You're celebrating birthday here on Fanstar Review. It's the first time ever.
Everybody put happy birthday in the chat.
Happy birthday in the chat to the birthday guy right here.
Thank you for the cake.
Yeah, absolutely. So, before you blow it out, make a wish.
Yep.
Make a good one. Make a good wish. Don't tell me about it. Don't tell me about it. But make a wish.
How about that?
How about that? All right.
We're gonna eat that after this video.
We're gonna eat that after this video. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get to it.
One of the greatest temptations I'm facing right now is getting lazy with my style and saying I ain't appreciating Mike's town. I serve too small a market, I need a larger target. You know, a broader audience who's spending dollars on this. And as of right now, this temptation for making some crazy statements, complaining, but I know how pride sounds. I'm everybody's favorite, maybe one of the greatest. The peak of every playlist. You'd be a lame to hate this, but the truth is it's foolish to say this. So please bear with my foolishness, cause I've concluded it's stupid or fake it. I Google my name too much. Think that my
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing great actually. So
today we came together. We're going to talk about the Northman.
All right.
Now, I made a few claims in a couple videos ago.
Mm-hmm.
How, there was a couple movies vying for movie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it right now. The Northman, in my opinion,
opinion.
for me,
And
movie of the year so far. I know it's early, but man, this was a good movie.
I think it was a great mythology movie. It kind of reminded me of the Greek mythology movies I used to watch back in the day. And they got super depth into the Viking the Viking aspects of things. But I really enjoyed it myself. The cinematography for this film was great.
Even the soundtrack for this film was great.
The sound was good. The soundtrack was good. The story was amazing. It was a pretty good film. I'm surprised a lot of people haven't seen it.
Oh, I feel like it's going to be a sleeper of the year. Like, there wasn't a lot of push behind it, but man, once people started seeing it, everybody was rave reviews about it.
I was impressed.
I mean, I gotta say, I didn't think much of it going into it. I didn't even think about seeing it, but when we went, I was like, man, that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just dive right into it, though. So you got, in the beginning, we saw the son, who his father's coming back from war, and at this time, even just having somebody come back from war is a big time to celebrate. And then his dad brings him to this underground. This is where the mythology comes in.
Well, I thought they had the greeting first with the brother.
Oh, yeah. So they did have the greeting with the brother, and and that's the first time we actually see William Dafoe's in this movie.
Yeah.
And that's the first time we see him as the court jester.
And then what a waste of such a powerful actor like William Dafoe. I just thought that they should have did a whole lot more.
He only had 3-4 lines.
3-4 lines, and I'm just like, I wanted more William Dafoe. He's great, even outside of being the Green Goblin. He's done other great stuff.
He's a great actor.
So
and I would say for those few lines, he gave a pretty good.
He gave an excellent performance.
Yeah, and so he was funny. He was like, "Oh."
He was basically saying
Queen
that.
Is getting.
Yeah, spoiler warnings.
Yes, there is going to be spoiler warnings.
Even though you forgot to say it.
I did forget to say it.
Yeah, spoiler warning.
He was making a joke about how the queen was getting
down
aroused
with
by the brother.
Mm-hmm.
And the brother was like, oh, watch your mouth and everything. But lo and behold, we didn't know that the brother was going to kill his... he was actually his half... What was it? He was the son of a concubine or something that his dad, their father, had a affair with the concubine or whatever. So he was like the brother, but his blood was bad, technically.
Something like that.
Well,
they half
when
brothers.
the way they say it in like that kind of wording they use, I think that's the gist of it, where he's not full-blooded part of royalty, but he's like half brother.
Okay.
But not actually half. Yeah. But the scene where they this William Dafoe's character is like fed them the liquid. We can only assume it's like
some hallucination.
Yeah, it has got some which we see a lot in this movie. A lot of hallucinogenic episodes where they're drinking this liquid, and then him and the son kind of go on a spiritual journey in their own right. But they're on it for like all night because they don't get out till the morning.
Mm.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say they start acting like wolves and stuff, like literal wolves, and farting and burping and stuff, and
yeah, they're like, show us you're not an animal, or show us you're like why you think you're different from an animal, and so then they fart and burp, and they're like, oh, he is a human or something like along those lines. But it was kind of weird because like
it's very weird. I mean,
we didn't see a lot of this trip as much as the other trips we see, where like he's like seeing the family tree and kind of seeing the future and stuff. So I mean I know it was his first one, and it was kind of the path that the dad was putting him on to become the leader of the tribe and stuff, or the village.
King, really.
Yeah, he was really started because he had gotten hurt in battle during this last battle because he could barely move and stuff. So he was starting the journey for his son to take over as king before the brother betrayed him.
Yeah.
Which, that was a crazy scene too, because I should have seen it coming, because it was not obvious the brother's going to betray the brother, but I did not expect that to happen.
He betrayed him and took his wife.
And they made it seem like he was taking her by force.
But
we find out later on.
Later on, she admitted
she was in on it.
She went willingly.
Which you know what I love though, the revenge arc, and just like another kind of animated show I watched that is almost the exact same. It's about Vikings. The kid's father gets killed in front of him, and his duty is to kill the guy that killed his father. I mean, just watching the kid row the boat. I will avenge you, father. I will avenge you, mother.
You mean the whole Lion King, Simba going back to get Scar for taking out Mufasa?
I didn't mean that one, but yes, just like
similar to that.
Yeah. Something similar. He's like, I will avenge you. And I mean, his whole life is about avenging his father's death, and in his mind, because he doesn't know that his mom is against him on this, is getting his mom freed from the guy that is enslaving her, basically. Mm-hmm. Which I thought that was a good scene. He's like rowing. I mean, he's rowing out to open ocean. And at this time, it wasn't... I mean, you would go on a boat ride in a big boat, and you'd die. And you didn't know if you were going to make it. And he lives to basically be found by another tribe of Vikings and taken in as one of their own. To where we see him actually go out and attack villages with them.
Yeah, he was going out. It's like he got the training that he needed elsewhere. He got the training that he needed elsewhere. And then he got to a point where he snuck on a boat. How do you do that? Now, when I seen that, I'm like, how do you just swim up to a boat and pretend to be a slave?
Yeah. So, before we go that far, before he actually goes to sneak on the boat, we see him take the village where they get the slaves. And that scene where they throw the spear and he catches it, flips it around and throws it back and kills the guy, probably one of my favorite scenes of that movie. I mean,
when they went and took down that village.
Yeah, because they're like, you are wolves, you are wolves, use the power of the wolf, and they go and he just catches the spear, flips it and throws it, and that's the start of this really horrific battle on this village, because, I mean, they are Vikings. Mm-hmm. We literally see them separate the children between the boys and the girls, shove all the boys into a building, and light the building on fire.
And kill them.
I mean, it's a horrific battle. And then take all the women as their slaves.
Mm-hmm.
But, so then they're branding all the women as slaves, And I mean, he's got all he could. I mean, he could have gone about this different ways, but the fact that he branded himself as a slave, cut his hair, and then you are right. This is a small boat. I mean, it's not like a huge yacht or a cruise ship. He's swimming up. They didn't hear him swimming. There's no motors. They're rowing.
He just hopped on the boat.
Yeah,
like,
he
I'm a
hops
slave.
on. They don't notice that this dude's all wet.
I don't know if back then if somebody came and posed as a slave, they'd say, "Hey, we got free slave." You know, slaves
Yeah.
worth money.
I mean,
so
maybe they didn't worry about it. They were like, "Hey, this guy jumped in the boat.
Hey, he's a free slave.
Yeah,
that's free. We ain't have to pay for this slave. That's right. I don't know if that's what they felt.
Well, they didn't have to pay for any.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, maybe just another guy. If he wants to be a slave, let's let him be a slave.
and they didn't see that. Dang, this dude's big and muscular and all this and that, and they just thought, okay. Once he started being a slave, he went there. He seen his cousin, who was like the prince over there, and then he seen his half brother. So his half brother and his cousin.
Yes.
Yeah. So he got a
his
brother.
cousin was young when he was young.
Yeah, and then
now
the new
he's
baby,
older.
and then the new baby became the brother cousin.
His brother, yeah.
And
his brother cousin.
His brother cousin.
Here's what I found.
Oh,
Siri want to jump into that conversation.
Siri paying too much attention.
But we actually see him save his brother cousin.
Yeah, he saves his brother cousin because he got involved in something like.
If you're so, I guess. I'm jumping ahead because I was like, why would he save him if he was just gonna kill them all? But he didn't know that his mom was being there by choice.
Mm-hmm.
He thought she was still being forced, so he didn't want to kill his
brother cousin.
Yeah, just for him being there. So like he did save him from the guy, and he got closer with his uncle that he was there to kill.
Mm-hmm.
To which we see him sneaking out at night to go find the weapon to kill him. Because like we were saying with this whole Norse mythology, his dad was named the Raven, like the Raven Killer or like King of the Ravens, and all these ravens were kind of like doing stuff to where he was like, oh, they're telling me to go do this and this.
Well, it was a lot of spiritual stuff that went on in the movie too. Like you had.
It was like his dad's soul was being carried by these ravens.
Yeah, and then also he was tested by a spirit where he had to fight a spirit.
Yeah, to get the sword.
To get that sword, he had to fight a spirit. So
Which that was another trip. Which I would have loved to have seen William Dafoe's character back as his original character.
Yeah, in spirit form, just kind of got
him off.
They killed him off, and then later on they showed that was his skull or something like that.
Yeah, but then they didn't. I mean, him being there in spiritual form would have been awesome.
That would have been pretty good. That would have been a great way to still use him.
The guy could have given him a liquid again, and then he could have just been hallucinating that he was there. But still, to see him again would have been just even more amazing.
Yeah, like he basically, I would say, compare his role to like Rafiki to the Lion King to the King of the Lion. That's how he was supposed to be, and so it's like we got that, but we didn't get as much. And like I said, A-list actor.
Oh yeah,
should have gave us more.
It was a kind of a B-list role, but
it was a supporting role.
A supporting role, but they wasted his character, I thought.
Yeah.
But then the one thing I didn't understand about this movie, I know it was all kind of about the spiritualness of it, but it was said that his sword, he could not draw it during the day. Even if he had to fight a spirit to get it and stuff, and he was tripping when he had to do that, how could he not pull it out during the day? Because he even went to, and he wouldn't, he couldn't unsheath it. That's the one part I was like, is he just like, believe he can't pull it, or?
I don't know, because he did most of his slaughtering that night.
Well, yeah. Which, whew, some of them scenes were crazy, especially the one where I can't remember if he was putting something in the water, but this was like after he had already killed a few people, and they finally put all the slaves in the field with sticks, basically, and said, we're going to feed you to this spirit that's killing these things. But then he either put something in the water they drank, or put something in the fire that smoked up to them and they inhaled it, but then they like started killing themselves. You remember all the guards? That was a crazy scene. That's the scene where right after that, he sneaks back into the house and finally talks to his mom and finds out that she was the whole organizer behind.
Yeah, she was okay with what happened and all this stuff. Like, she said she wanted the brother. You
thought I was being held. I told him to kill him and you.
But then she kissed the son too. Like, was this weird? I seen that. I was like, oh my goodness.
Which, in reality, he should have just killed her right then.
He should have, because he killed her later on, anyways.
Yeah.
And it's like he had to kill the cousin, he had to kill the mother, he had to kill the brother cousin.
Yeah.
Brother cousin.
Which, that was crazy that he killed the cousin and then stole the heart. Because in Norse mythology, in like this Viking, not Norse, I don't know why I said Norse, but in Viking, in mythology, they have to die on the battlefield to go to Valhalla, which is basically like if they don't die in battle or like in an honorable way, they don't reach Valhalla, which is like basically like.
You talk about Valhalla and Thor, so yeah, I know what Valhalla is.
Okay, yeah. But he steals his heart, so he's like, my son can't pass on without his heart, and he's like, if you want it, you're going to have to come get me, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to kind of a crazy funeral scene with, like, the lady slave that sings a lot. She's singing, and they're getting ready, and he kills the son's horse, and they also kill the girl.
They killed a girl out of they killed one of them to show hey,
yeah,
somebody's here killing, blah, 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 blah. Then they killed him. I think that was before he got to kill the mom and the son.
Yeah. Because the son, helped chop the head off of the horse.
And he jumped on his back, and he's just stabbing him and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, right when she said, I was the one who told him to, he should have killed her and the son right there.
He should, but you know how movie logic is.
Yeah, I know. Because if he would have killed the mom, he could have even lied to the son and been like, I'm your brother.
And he wouldn't have accepted it,
Yeah. I mean, that is true. He wouldn't have accepted him at all.
He could have either said, I'm your brother, I'm your cousin.
Yeah. But, towards the end, him and his girl now are... He finally gave up his revenge. I mean, he was on the boat, they were leaving. And he finds out that she has his child. Not only one, but she's going to have twins. And he's like, it's never going to be over. They're going to come after me and our kids, so I have to go back to finish the battle.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because, I mean, you are there, you're safe, but you know that if anybody's left alive over there, they're going to all come back after you.
Mm-hmm.
Which, then he goes back and we have this awesome battle in
a volcano.
In a volcano where they're fighting around lava, and there's lava that they're stepping over just to fight, which they're fighting naked, but
must be a Viking thing.
It's like I think it's like that they're the most vulnerable. It's like they're very vulnerable, but they're also like showing pure strength. They don't have any armor and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we really didn't even see much of shields in this fight either.
Yeah, mostly just swords.
Yeah, and we have a classic kind of ending to it where
the hero dies.
He dies, but in the midst of dying,
he goes to Valhalla.
He does go to Valhalla, but he also gets his revenge and kills his uncle at the same time.
Well, yeah, we got that. But then he went to Valhalla afterwards.
Yeah, he did.
Spirit was connected.
He left his wife and his kids.
He had to. He had to protect them, and they get a fair shot, fair life. So
protect them and make sure they're safe.
Let's go ahead and rate this movie.
Okay.
So as for the Northman, it was an amazing mythology movie. I enjoyed it very much. I really feel that a lot of people, if they haven't seen it, whenever you do get some time, go see this movie.
Yes, I agree with that.
So for me, I am going to give it an 8.9.
I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10.
All right.
I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10.
I thought you said 9 offline. You said 9.
No.
10.
10
No, this is new. I'm down here in 10, so he's giving it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. It was good. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
I would see it again.
Yep. All right. Well, this has been another fine edition of Fan Style Reviews. Again, I'm Jamel.
And I'm Frank.
And we're going to see you on the next one. Peace.
See you later.
If you liked that video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We out.